All right, first I just wanted to start out by directing you to the event that's in the community. There's a place at the bottom for comments, and we would really, we don't just want your comments and feedback on what I'm about to show you, we really need it. It's how we get better, by hearing what you guys think about what we're doing. So I'm gonna be showing a lot of designs, and I have a couple of surprises that are already in beta and in development. But mostly what I'm going to be showing you is designs. And what we want to hear about are the things you think are great and that we're doing right, the things you think we may have missed the mark on. If you have questions, that's a good place to put them as well, just in case I don't get to answering questions in this session. And I will be popping in there just after this session to answer as many of those questions and read through all your feedback right after this session. So. And he introduced me, but hi, I'm a senior product manager for Canvas. I've been doing a lot of research on Gradebook for the last couple of years, and I've been working with the Gradebook team. I'm working with some other teams now as well, broadening my horizons a bit, but Gradebook has been my life and my love for the last couple of years. So, and believe it or not, I do love talking about grading. And so I just wanted to introduce you a little bit to some of the people that make this possible. That top row is UX and QA, and these are the people that I spend a lot of time with, helping so that they understand your user stories as well as I do. So they help me make smart decisions when it comes to where we're putting things in the UI. And they do a really good job of catching a lot of stuff that, all kinds of test cases and use cases that are edge cases that they catch before it goes out, and it's really amazing. And then we have our engineers. We actually have the lead Gradebook engineer here right now. Keith is down front. Say hello to Keith. These guys put in an incredible amount of work for you. They totally work their butts off, and we have the best team. Don't tell other engineering teams if they're here. But our motto is Gradebook team is the best team. We have as much fun as we possibly can. So I just want to, before we really get into the Gradebook stuff, I just want to talk a little bit about how we arrive at some of these designs. We aren't just open source with our code, we're open source with the way we gather feedback. So I get feedback in a lot of different ways about Gradebook, through CSMs, through the community, through user interviews. Does anybody recognize this Step Brothers picture? Best interview ever. We get stuff from support. I mean, I have friends who are teachers or retired teachers, and I ask them questions all the time. I'm always trying to get as much information as I can about grading in the world, not just in Canvas. To me, it's not just about how can we make Canvas better. It's about what are the problems that people encounter in grading in education. Because if we can understand those problems really well, then we're going to implement the smartest solutions in Canvas. So again, go to the community, give us your user feedback. So the problems that I hear about when I go out and do user interviews, and just looking at all of the data that we collect, kind of fall into 5 categories. Organization, time, automation, communication, and flexibility. Again, these aren't necessarily problems that you face in grading with Canvas exclusively. They're problems that you face in grading in education, whether it's K-12, higher ed, medical schools, law schools. So I tried to turn these into goals so that we always keep these goals in mind when we're trying to solve problems. Is it solving one of these problems? So I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of stuff over the next, half hour. I'm going to start with a slide and kind of talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to look at some designs. So to start with, organization is something I hear about a lot. People want to organize their gradebooks. They want more flexibility in the way that they organize their gradebooks. They want better orientation in their gradebooks. So these are a few things that I have designs to show you. One of the things, I call it crosshairs. It's when you're in the gradebook and you're clicked on a cell and you want to know which column and row am I in. You kind of want something to draw your eye there. late and missing tags. So when I talk to people about their gradebooks, I often ask, what's the first thing you look for when you're looking at a student? So you're looking at one of those rows, and how do you begin to tell yourself a story about this student? And the first thing that almost everybody says is, I'm looking to see how many late and missing things they have. So what we want to do is make it easier for you to see those late and missing things and have more control over being able to turn those late and missing items off and on. Collapsible columns. You can squeeze those down pretty small, but people really want to be able to hide them completely so that when you're 10 weeks in and you've got 10 things per week already, you just want to collapse all those and not look at them anymore. So we're going to make it a little easier to do that. We have some improved search functionality. We originally built in the ability to search for students, but a lot of K-12 people, especially with a lot of assignments, need to be able to search for assignments. So we've added the ability to search for either. And then we have some designs for an improved annotation tool in SpeedGrader. You guys are familiar with Crocodoc. We've got some designs and some ideas for a simpler way to use it. And we're hoping that if we can go that route, we can maybe offer some of the things that Crocodoc isn't offering you guys right now. All right. Okay, so to start with, here's those crosshairs. And you might notice this gradebook looks a little bit different. We're currently rebuilding the gradebook in a different framework. So we're kind of starting, there's a lot of differences here, but it's a lot of similarities. It's a little bit of change to organization, and there's a lot more here than I'm going to show you, but I'm just going to try and go through some of the highlighted stuff. So first, this is the crosshairs, like I was talking about. And then the late and missing tags. You might notice, can you see the colors on there very well? Okay. So if I click on this cell, I'll be able to add a missing flag there, or remove it, sorry. And then we're also giving you the ability to change those colors. So excused right now is white, but I could change it to red, or turn it off completely if I don't care. And you'll notice some of these are ones we already give you feedback on, dropped, resubmitted, but you'll be able to choose the colors you want there. And we're hoping that that will help with some colorblind accessibility issues. And so, let's see, the next one is collapsing columns. So here on the column header, you'd be able to collapse columns, pop them back open, and we've also, in case you have a ton of things collapsed and you wanna uncollapse them, you'll be able to uncollapse all of them all at once. And the search feature would also be able to find those collapsed columns. So rather than filtering completely, because it is a search, we wanted to make sure we kept the context of where you are in the gradebook when you find whatever it is you're looking for. And finally, this is a video. If any of you, has anyone visited the UX booth and gotten your UX koozie? Those are cool, huh? So this is a quick video about some of the things that, that we're looking at design. Oh, I'm trying to make it bigger. I don't have mouse control. Oh, let me try and reload it, sorry. There we go. So we've clustered the tools near some of the new SpeedGrader stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. We've clustered the tools over on the right to make sure all the action is happening in the same place. The comment boxes are a little different, but we've sort of, so in Crocodoc right now, they sort of have disparate tools that kind of do the same thing, only one of them allows you to comment, one doesn't. We're kind of mashing those up and saying you can comment if you want, or you can just use the tool. So you can always come back. Oh yeah, and 10 new colors. Who's excited about 10 colors? And you can come back anytime you want and comment. So see how her name was there and there's just those 3 dots? You can come back and comment, or it'll just say, hey, this person highlighted this. This is, if you're having sort of one conversation about one piece, we sort of threaded it a little better so that you can kind of tell where the comment is a thread and it's not so disparate. And again, like I said, you can go back anytime if you just highlighted it, you didn't leave a comment, but you'd like to go back to it and highlight it, or and comment on it. There's a lot of flexibility there. And one other thing we don't show in this, you know how in Crocodoc you can kind of just type, free-form type anywhere, and then later when you can't really tell who typed that, where that's not, yeah. Putting a box around it, you'll be able to tell that someone has typed there, and we'll always tie the comments to the person who did the commenting. All right, so next, saving time. I mean, who doesn't want to save time? So bulk grade adjustments, something we kind of do right now, I think we call it set default grade, which is kind of a weird way to say we're going to allow you to give everybody the same grade, award the same grade to everyone. Change the wording on that a little bit. But I also frequently hear about, I wrote a bad question and I need to add 2 points to everybody, and halfway through someone comes and talks to me, and then I'm like, all right, I have no idea where the last 2 points went. I mean, I know how easily it is to get interrupted when you're doing stuff like that. So we wanted to add something where you could say, give 2 points to everybody, and you'll be able to see how many points have been awarded. And also allow for exceptions, like if they didn't submit, they shouldn't get 2 points, right? So comment mode, I called this little mini speed grader for a little while. This, you know how when you're in the gradebook now, you click on a cell and it pops open this modal, and that's where you do the commenting. Well, we've made it so that you can just expand the column, and you can add a comment right next to the grade. So you can just tab through real quickly. You can see all the comments you've left for everyone. It's kind of a nicer view. Even SpeedGrader doesn't allow you to see all the comments all the time. So gradebook settings right now are buried in the course settings. We wanted to bring those into the gradebook, especially because we're going to be adding a lot more grading policies that we want you to be able to control from the gradebook. And the SpeedGrader facelift, did anybody go see Jared talk earlier, get a glimpse of the SpeedGrader facelift? It's in beta right now, so I'm going to give you guys, I managed to get logged in, so I'm going to give you guys a little peek at that. All right, so first, the bulk grade adjustments. So award the same grade. This is the same as set default grade right now. And this is where we've added the ability to add or subtract a couple of points from everyone. And you can see the history here and remove it. Ignore unsubmitted or ignore zeros. All right, and then comment mode. So comment mode, this is where it pops open. So you can tab through. This would be an active window. All right. You can tab through and add comments and grades quickly, and you can, I also just really like that you can see all of the comments all at once. It kind of makes it easier. And it will always keep the first comment that was left. We have it's not in this mock-up, but we will send you to SpeedGrader if you want to see an entire conversation, because it's kind of too much to put in this. The idea was to make this quick and easy for the first data entry. All right, I'm glad you guys liked that. It's my little brainchild, so I'm excited about that. Okay, and then settings is right here. I'm not going to click on it because I want to save it for the next slide. But the gradebook settings would be right here. And the SpeedGrader facelift. Okay, so the SpeedGrader facelift, this is beta right now. I call it killing the rainbow, which I know sounds sad, but it's a good thing, because every single time I do an interview about SpeedGrader, I'm not sure a single person didn't tell me how much they hated the fact that here I gotta face you guys, you're over on the left and to go to the next person, and then you're over here to do the grade, and then you're down here to do the comments, and it's this rainbow action, killing the rainbow. So this new layout, this takes you back to the gradebook. The things over here are kind of the things you won't do very often. This takes you back to the gradebook. This mutes the assignment. This gives you the keyboard shortcuts, help, and then the SpeedGrader settings. The name of the assignment will take you to the assignment. It's a link. The name of the course will take you back to the course home. And these are the same stats we had kind of disparately throughout SpeedGrader. The navigation is here, the grade is here, and the comment is here. So this is all in line, less movement, kill the rainbow. And you also may have noticed in the annotation mockups, we've moved the annotations right here as well. So everything is really compact, so we really truly are speedy. Speed grader, right? All right, I think that's the next, yay? So that one is in beta. You can play with that one. It'll be going to prod in a couple of weeks. All right, next slide. So automating more things. There's a lot of rules that people kind of want to set because who wants to go through and do the math for late, like applying your late policies, and then again, you get interrupted. How many of them have you actually done already? And so we have some late and missing policies. I want to just see a show of hands. How many people would prefer that we muted assignments to start? So posting grades kind of does that. We're going to let you decide whether or not you want the grades to automatically post or if you would like to manually post the grade for each assignment. So that'll be a rule that you'll set at the beginning of your course. You can change it any time. So I'll show you that in just a second. Another thing we hear about a lot is especially in K-12, when you don't want your students to focus on the individual assignment grades, after a week or two, you gotta let it go. So we're allowing you to sort of expire their ability to view the grades after a couple of weeks. And that's the individual assignment grades, not the overall grade. But that will still be there. That's a different setting. Finally, grading schemes in bulk. So what this will do is basically allow you to set per assignment group which grading scheme you would like the assignment to default to. You'd still be able to change individual ones within that assignment group if you want. It just will make it so when you create the assignment group will already be the grading scheme will already be chosen for that assignment, and you won't have to do anything with it. All right, so let's see. So late policies. So before something, this is like, you guys will understand this. Most people don't get, what's the difference between missing and late? Well, it's after the due date, but before it's submitted, it's missing, right? If you accept late work. So this will allow you to assign a grade until they submit, if you like to scare your kids into submitting late work. It's a good tactic. I'm not knocking it. And then maybe you don't accept late work at all. So this would automatically just assign zeros to anybody who doesn't submit by the due date. If you do accept, yeah? All right. If you do accept late work, you can set and automatically deduct how many percents? How much per day or per hour, and then also set a bottom if you don't want them to get anything less than a 50 or a 60%. This is a little sneak peek of something we're working on right now. It's just kind of a little bit of a change to the layout of grading schemes, nothing dramatic, but a little bit easier to see what has been applied and what has not. This is the post policies. So this is where you choose to post the grade automatically, which is how we do it now, or manually post, say when you want the grade to be posted. And then you can hide an assignment grade, hide all the assignment grades would sort of expire after however many days. And then for those of you who are using grading periods, this is where instructors will also be able to see grading period information. And finally, the assignment group, being able to award the same way you would on an assignment, being able to apply a grading scheme to that assignment group. And again, like I said, manage exceptions on each assignment. All right, how am I doing on time? All right, doing okay. So better communication with your students and Canvas with you. That's kind of how I'm thinking about communication. So totals, everyone loves treat ungraded as zero, don't you? Don't you just love it? So I think the spirit of that was, the idea was to show teachers what students' grades would be if they didn't submit anything else. But I don't know if it's terribly clear how that's really being communicated. So what we wanted to do is make sure you could get access to the 3 totals that kind of exist in the world of Canvas. One of which is, if you've posted half of your scores, that's the grade the student sees. And you need to be able to see that grade, right? That's the student view of what their grade is. But those other grades, you may want to see, well, what's their grade once I post all these other grades? That's the current score. And then there's the treat ungraded as 0, which is the final score. It's all of the possible grades they could possibly get, and the ones that haven't been graded yet are 0s. And we're doing a little better job of showing how to see those different grades in the UI. I'll show you that in a second. A new student grades page. And the cool thing about this is there's 2 views that will default to. They can be manipulated to look the same if you want, but students will sort of see a different view than instructors and observers. Primarily because we repeatedly hear from observers and instructors that they want to see the submission date, they want to be able to look at the entire list of submissions and see when they've been submitting. Are they submitting at the last minute all the time? Are they submitting late all the time, and how late? But students don't care. They don't want to see that. We tried. They don't care about that. They may look at it once in a while, but they're kind of like, no, I wouldn't really use that. So we've built it so that students will be able to see that submission date if they want, but it'll default to the things that they care about. And for instructors and observers, it'll default to the things that you guys care about. And it's just kind of prettier. Another thing we've added is a to-do list in SpeedGrader. And what this will allow, there's 2 things here that I hear about a lot. One, when I do my grading, I just want to do all my grading for all my courses. I don't want to have to go all the way out to the course and then go find other things. So this will bring all of your grading to-dos into SpeedGrader, so you can bounce around between courses, between assignments, whatever needs graded. The other thing it does is you'll have a comment list. Any new comments from students, you'll be able to see all of those and dismiss them. So I'll show you guys designs for that in just a second. Cool. And then context cards are another one of my little brainchilds. The idea for context cards is no matter where you are in Canvas, you'll be able to get a small story about a student or an assignment. So when you're in Gradebook, for the most part, you're kind of looking to see what's the story of this assignment or what's the story of this student. So we're sort of building a little summary of those things for you so you don't have to scroll like crazy. Or when you get an email or some message or something, you'll be able to click on the student's name and get a quick snippet of like, they have 3 missing things, 10 late things, and they're asking me for an extension. No. So this is, starting with the total grades. So, and the wording here is something that we've probably changed 100 times. So I'd love your feedback on this, please. The student view is posted grades only. The current grade is posted and unposted grades. And the final grade is posted, unposted, and ungraded counted as 0. Is that clearer than treat ungraded as 0? Yes? Okay. Cool. Sorry. Say it again? Okay. Student view is posted grades only. So those would be posted to the student. Current grade would be posted and unposted. So it wouldn't include assignments that haven't been graded yet. Does that make sense? Final grade is posted, unposted, and the ungraded assignments would be counted as 0. Yeah, it's like if you were to submit final grades right now and they didn't. So it also means anything that doesn't have a 0 assigned to it would be given a 0. Yeah. I hear. Uh-oh, here we go. I can hear questions, but I can barely see you. It's the worst case scenario. Yeah. If they did nothing else, yes. Sure.
Instead of toggling between them, can we just get all 3 columns?
You want all 3 columns all the time? So his question was, can we have all 3 columns instead of toggling between them? And then be able to hide them. Okay, I like this. Go ahead. Yes, yeah. So she's asking if there will be 3 columns in the export, if they could have the student view, basically, because you already have current and final in the export. Right, yes. So I don't have anything in this presentation about import and export, but we do have plans to make import and export a little bit easier so you can pick which total grade you want to come out. Yeah, yeah. Okay, one more. Sorry? What's the difference between unposted and ungraded? So if you have graded assignments, but you haven't, let's say you've entered all of the grades. Uh-oh, I got 10 minutes. This is the last question. If you've graded an assignment, but you haven't posted those grades, the students aren't seeing those grades, but it is factored into the current grade. Yeah. Okay, we got to burn rubber here. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is the student view one, or the student grades. There's way too much to show you here and get through anything else, so I'm going to say, look how pretty it is. I don't know what else to say. We got rid of the whisker graphs. It's way cooler. More feedback on the statuses. Oh, one thing real quick. They can't, oh, where did it go? Shoot. They won't be able to, oh, my clicking is not working. Sorry, it's stuck. There we go. If they've started to edit, they can no longer print. So if they've simulated a score, print button's gone. And even if they do still print, it says everywhere, this is a simulated score. This is not your score. No more cheating with Mom, but it says I'm getting a 90. Okay, we gotta go fast. Oh, okay, this is, I'm gonna go really quick. So this is the grading to-do list. So here's all the new submissions you have. It will indicate when it's a resubmission, you can dismiss them if you don't want to grade them. New comments down here. And we kind of give you the numbers so you know what you kind of are looking at. And I promise not to do 9+. We'll give you the full numbers. I feel like a politician right now. Okay, context cards. Assignment details. Whoa, what? Aren't those cool? So we'll give you a little story, a little bit of the metadata about them. How many are missing? How many are late? How many have been submitted? Message students who? And the idea is for this to be built and be universal in Canvas. So anywhere you are, you can get this little snippet.
Is that in beta?
No. Wouldn't that be neat? I wish it was in beta. I wish it was in production. No, this, hopefully we're going to be working on that this year. So the other version of that is the student one, which is a little bit simpler, but notice this little message button. So you'd be able to message them from anywhere. Okay. One more thing. Okay, one more slide. Increasing flexibility. So the exciting thing about this is we're either working on or this is all in beta. The total grade adjustment. This allows you to adjust the final grade. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people excited about that one. An uncalculated graded assignment, which I know you're thinking, how is this different than ungraded? The idea here is it won't count towards the final grade, but you can still give them a grade. If it's a rough draft of something and you don't want that grade to go in the final grade, the student will get that feedback and it'll be really clear. That is in beta right now. SpeedGrader auto-saving comments. So when you're grading someone, the comment won't go with you. Okay, I'll show that real quick. Okay, the final grade adjustment. This will just be added to the total column. You'll be able to click in it, and you'll be able to edit either this or this, and either way will show you the difference from what we've calculated. The student will see an asterisk that will say your total grade oh God, I forget the wording. Total grade has been adjusted by your instructor. We're not going to tell them how much, but we don't want 1,000 calls that math isn't working in Canvas. So we need to tell them that you guys have adjusted it somehow. Can you comment on it? We would, yes, and not in the first version, but we are going to add commenting to it because we want there to be a history for yourselves so you remember why. And it will be persistent. As you add scores, that total grade adjustment will stay the same unless you change it. This will go back and forth between points. It'll do points and percentage as well. Okay, in beta, right? Public and private? Yeah. Oh, it would be private comments. It would be private comments for record-keeping purposes, yes. So this is in beta right now. When you go to create a new assignment, there's a button right here, do not count this assignment towards the final grade. And the students will see that as well. This is not counted towards your final grade. And the only time you won't have this option is if it's an ungraded assignment. If that makes sense. Okay, 5 minutes, right? Or am I stopping? 5 minutes? Okay, cool. You might even have a second for questions. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick demo of a comment, and then I go to the next student. A comment was auto-saved as a draft. What? Then you can go back, and it's still there, and you can publish it. Yay! All right, so user feedback is how we did this. I didn't make these up because they're what I wanted to do. They're what you guys want. And almost, well, everything, not almost everything, everything that I've designed into the new gradebook is because I've gotten to talk to a lot of you and a lot of your users. And that's because you've let me come to your institution and interview people. It is incredibly valuable for the product team to be able to hear the stories from people and see them in their native environments, being interrupted repeatedly, and just getting a feel for the kinds of problems that they face. So if you are interested in hosting one of us to come do user interviews about anything, a lot of it's going to be more general this year. I'm working on notifications, which I know everybody has feels about. So if you're interested in hosting us, please talk to your CSM because I would love to come. I go every other week pretty much throughout the whole school year. So I travel a lot, and I would love to see you guys out there. Thank you.